Hi everybody. So it's been a while since I made a new video. A lot of things have not happened that are bad, but a lot of just boring, and I don't really have the time to making videos and stuff like that. And even when I do have the time, it has to be used for other things. So basically, so this is going to be a video about, some of the cool things with a lot of the devices and stuff that's come out with Apple and a lot of the software updates. I don't really like any of the new phones that Apple makes, so that's not really something I want to talk about. I like the software part of it. Even when it comes to Mac OS, I don't even have 10.13 running. Is it 10.13? Yeah, I don't even have 10.13 running on my Mac right now, so I don't really know what has changed. I kind of don't even know what's changed or whatever with that. Plus, I'm kind of afraid to, because I want to get a new hard drive eventually to replace it and make it more useful in the future-proof. So so basically with this update, it's really had the biggest impact with this operating system is with an iPad, no doubt. iOS 11 with iPad is so much different than it was before. It's really starting to bridge the gap and starting to make an iPad more of a standalone sort of supplementary product. But you got to go for the Pro models. But it's still useful even with the entry-level iPad today. But so iOS 11. So, but my favorite features that I'm going to talk about aren't many. I've had it for about 2 weeks now. I haven't really taken a lot of time to look at it because I'm dealing with another issue with my phone. For some reason, the Wi-Fi disconnects every time I'm connected to a network. It'll connect intermittently when I'm on Facebook audio, if I'm on a FaceTime call or something like that. Even when I'm at home, I have multiple access points, but that shouldn't be the problem because they're all the same name. But it's happened everywhere, so it can't be really a network issue. It's got to be a software issue. They tell me I should restore my phone and set it up as a new iPhone, but everyone doesn't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. I'm thinking about just buying an iCloud storage plan and backing it up with that, then restoring it with iTunes as a new iPhone, then reinstalling everything with an iCloud backup. We'll see if that really works. Maybe that'll happen afterwards, so I don't have to deal with this again. But so my favorite features, notably the first feature I noticed right away was how iOS 11 is a departure from what the last couple revisions have been with it, with signal strength and stuff like that. So before you had dots, right, up in the left-hand corner, top corner, you'd have dots that indicated how much reception you had in your area. Now it was 5 dots. Now it's 4 bars. Now this literally, I will be honest, this is my only real favorite feature with this update, especially for me. I don't have an iPad anymore, but if I did, even if I did have that iPad, and even if I use one of my other family members' iPads, none of them are able to receive iOS 11 updates anyway because they're too old, and they don't have enough RAM for it at all. And I mean at all, like nowhere near what the minimum requirement is. So so basically it's that's my favorite feature. Second favorite feature, maybe it's the way the notifications has you swiping to the left or swiping to the right, so something on the left opens up for you to open up the app. That is a decent feature. However, I'll explain why it's kind of controversial to me. So notifications was something that before was stripped away. They made it really terrible. So, but now, rather than, before they got rid of the grouping notifications by group, okay, that sucked. It still sucks. I think it's horrible. I think it's stupid that they took that away. They take really great features away all the time for some reason, They never move forward. They always got to retract. So, aside from that, now, all your notifications kind of go down, they go down to the bottom, etc. When your phone's locked, You can only see things like reminders or other notifications at the top, and then it'll show you the ones at the bottom. You can't actually clear notifications anymore from the top. You can do it if they're older, like a day, many hours behind. You can clear all of them at a time, but now you can only clear them when the screen is locked. Also, they messed up a feature where now, like with Facebook Messenger, now you can't. Now it says notification. I've played around with a lot of the notification settings, and that doesn't change anything. But like, it's made it harder. It's like you have to relearn how to use something, and to me, it's a privacy concern. I think a lot of people would agree that it is a privacy concern, because now, you got, people could be steady lurking or something, something stupid like that. Nobody wants to deal with stupid shit like that. They don't. So that's stupid. I don't think that was a good update. But the problem now is, now when you want to swipe left to see your widgets, if you do that on a notification, while you're doing that, now it opens the frickin' app. So that's something that's it's a gesture that isn't canceled out. So like, it's totally unintended, but it happens anyway. So now, what's another thing? What's another bad thing about iOS 11 that really isn't fun? These are the two biggest ones so far that I don't think many people know about. These things piss me off. Bluetooth. So, the Bluetooth symbol on your iPhone, if it's on iOS 11, is always bold. Now, before, if you recall before, if it was always sort of dull, gray looking, tan, like a brownish color. Now, if you're connected to something Bluetooth, now you have no way of knowing. You have no idea of knowing whether or not you're connected to something. At a quick glance, they did change this. Before, there was a widget, and there still is, in iOS 10, it's called batteries. It told you if your Bluetooth device had this feature, if it supported this feature, it would tell you the name of the device and the battery percentage it is. It tells you it with AirPods. It tells you with other Bluetooth devices, such as little Bluetooth connectors that help make an old device or a car Bluetooth again, or something like that. That's great. But before, it would only show up in your widgets bar, even if you had it in your widgets, if you had something connected to it. Now, it's on all the time, including it'll tell you your phone. It tells you that too. But that's no one wants to really have to look at their phone and swipe around and look for that, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Now they have to tell if something is connected or not. I think that's stupid. I think it's dumb. And before, it used to tell you like the battery percentage but they got rid of that too, and they deferred it all to the widgets app, the widgets widget, whatever, battery widget. That's stupid. It makes things more difficult than it needed to be. It was already fine. Why did you change it? Second worst feature. This is the most dumbest thing I've ever seen before. Wi-Fi. The control center is sort of weird. You can customize it. There are some controls I'd like to see added, but it's not terrible. It does kind of, playing around with it after a while, you get used to it. However, what the stupid thing is if you click the Wi-Fi to turn that off, it actually doesn't turn Wi-Fi off. All it does is disconnect you from the network you're running on. That is so dumb. How is that even considered a control when you have no control over that control anymore? It doesn't even control it. It just disconnects you from it. Why don't you call it Wi-Fi disconnect button instead of Wi-Fi turn off button? So dumb. Nobody knows why they did this. Now, if you want to turn off Wi-Fi, now you actually have to enter settings and turn it off manually. Wasn't the whole idea of having Control Center to, not have you need to go to the settings app anymore? I mean, think about it. We had a flash on all of our devices, and we didn't even have a flashlight button. You actually had to download a freaking flashlight app. You didn't even have that as a control until iOS 7. So that to me is stupid as well. They just don't. I don't know what they're doing, but these things are things that they didn't need to change. For me to pick that up as a change and me not be happy with it, that sucks, because those are things I actually enjoyed. I use those things all the time. I look at my Bluetooth indicator because I connect to a lot of Bluetooth devices. I need I like the Wi-Fi control center. I think the control center with iOS 10 kind of sucked in the beginning, but then I like it. In fact, I want that one back. So that's just really dumb things that they're doing. Now, a lot of the really good updates came sort of in the background, like inside of the settings, stuff like that. The Files app, I can't really comment on because I'm not really familiar with it yet. It sort of takes a lot of your storage apps, such as Box.net, Dropbox, Google Drive, things like that, and sort of allows you to open it. It's kind of like a file, like a finder for your iPad or iPhone, where a lot of the really good changes happen with iPad. From what I understand, it's really great. One feature that I wish that they would have done, but they've yet to do it, they will not do it for some reason, is now, like they do it with notes. I noticed that with notes you can do that. You can move notes from one folder to another with iCloud. That's great. But they've actually made that easier, so that's good. But you can't do that with contacts if you have different iCloud contact groups or whatever. Not a lot of people do that. You can kind of infer that a lot of people don't when you see people writing on their social media all the time. Got a new phone, lost everybody's number. Why weren't you using iCloud? You have an Apple ID. Your contacts will easily fit in the allotted amount that they give you starting off anyway. Beats me. So you can't move a contact to a different iCloud group for contacts yet. You still can't do that. You can't even, when you're making a new contact, you can't even decide what group you want to put it in. I think what the only real thing you can do is if you do it on a Mac or if you do it on iCloud.com, if you do it that way, or if you actually select the group and make that the only one you're viewing inside of the iCloud, inside of contacts. If you make the contact in there, I think that will put it in there, but there's, like, you know what I mean, like this is iOS 11, you know, we're 11 revisions into iOS now. We've been working with this for almost more than 10 years, about 10 or more years now, and we still don't have that. That's just something a little bit small, but that's something that other, you know, different operating systems have, like Android. Now, I don't like Android. I never would use Android again. I just don't like it, and that's what's going on. So it's stupid, but you know, that's iOS 11, man. I mean, nothing is really, you know, blows you away with iOS 11. You know, if anything, it kind of just irritates you because you wish that it would change, or you wish that they just, a lot of the things that stick out to me are things that they got rid of or changed in a bad way. There's not many things that they changed positively that stick out to me. I think that iOS 10 was already good enough. I don't really think that the things that they added were even necessary to add or change. That's why I think that iOS 11 to me is just a missed opportunity. You can access Apple Pay, which I don't use yet, but you can access Apple Pay via the lock screen now. But with all the notifications and privacy concerns with the operating system, if you don't know, if you're not reading up on what these things do or testing it out for yourself and you're just updating your phone, this is a privacy concern to you. Because now you have to relearn how to use the goddamn device. You know, it's dumb. You know, it's dumb. So those really are my only things that I took away from that, from iOS 11. They have some updates coming out. I'm going to talk about iOS 11, not iOS 11.0.1 or 11.1, which just came out today. Those things will probably, I might make a video on that at another time just to see what they changed. I know that you'd rather not have someone just sit there and talk about it, but you would rather somebody actually sort of try to do a tutorial. I don't have the time for that, so I'm not going to. That's it. There's really nothing else. You know, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, support, just go ahead and comment. I don't really check it all the time because I get so many YouTube emails anyway, and most of the ones that have to do with my account always get forwarded to junk for some reason. So, you know, I have to check that at once or twice every day, and sometimes it's not even worth it because I get literally so many new YouTube notifications. Like, I subscribe to people because I want to see what they do in the future, but I have so many subscriptions, it's not even funny anymore. Like, it's not even like it's more of a burden than being subscribed to somebody. So that's it. That is it. We'll upload this soon.